Hey y'all, welcome back to Fire and Water Cooking. I'm Darren, of course, and today we're gonna do buffalo wings. All right guys, I'll be right back and we'll get this all started. Won't take long. I got my oil heating up already. I'll be back.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from Fire and Water.
All right guys, like I said, this is not gonna take very long. This big bowl here is gonna be for my wings when we sauce them up. This here is the one for our flour. And all I'm gonna do, guys, is take these out of the pack. They're thawed completely already. I'm not even gonna wash them. I'm just gonna go ahead and take them right out of here because they're already nice and wet from them thawing out. And then we're gonna put them in the flour. We're not gonna use any egg wash or anything like that because that would make them really a lot more bready. But we are gonna add I got about 2 cups of flour in here, maybe a little bit more than that. It doesn't really matter, just enough that we're gonna be able to coat these wings. But I'm gonna put about 4 tablespoons or so of my black garlic and herb compound butter. And you can actually use any kind of seasoning you want in your flour. The original didn't really season the flour too much, but nowadays you get places that will actually, they don't even sauce them anymore. They just actually put the heat in the flour. They season the flour up and then they don't put any sauce on them, so you just have breaded wings with the heat without the sauce. But we're doing the original buffaloes today, guys, with a little bit of twist. So just make sure you mix that mix that up in the flour really good. Don't over season it. Just get enough in there where you can actually see the color of the flour change a little bit, and that's what we did there. And then all we're gonna do, guys, is start taking these out and put them in the flour. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get me a pan to put them on. That way my oil will start getting heated up. It's probably got another 5 or 6 minutes, but I'll be back with our pan. We'll flour them up and put them on the pan. All right, guys, so I got my pan here, and we're gonna go ahead. All you're gonna do is stick these in. Just toss them in there, try not to get the flour all over the place. Because like I said, they are pretty wet. Just try to shake some of that excess moisture off. Put about 6 or 7 in here at a time. Just take your fork here that you mixed up the seasoning with and just get a light coat on. Just gonna mix them in there. And we're just gonna put them on our pan. Try to get a pan with a rack so that the excess flour kind of falls down. They don't kind of clump or lose the seasoning off of it or the flour, because they will do that. They'll kind of sit in a pile of moisture, and then the flour and stuff will come off. And that's about it, guys. I'm just going to do the rest of these. My oil is almost up to temperature. You want your oil to be between 350 and 375. It can be a little bit more than that, maybe 380 or so. Just don't want to get it too hot. You don't want it to go over 400 because it'll burn the outsides and not cook the inside. So, all right, let me get the rest of these floured up, and I'll be back when we're going to the oil. All right, guys. As you can see, got my wings over here, got them on my pan. Oil. Okay, this is one of the good things I like about my Monument grill, my gas grill. It has this burner, so I can cook this stuff outside on my deck. I also have a portable little gas stove as well, but I like this one because all you gotta do is crank the gas on and turn it up, and it's a really powerful burner. I'm gonna go ahead and temp my oil. Yeah, it's actually a little hotter than I want it to be, but as soon as we put these wings in, it's right about 390. But as soon as we put these wings in, it's gonna start cooling down. So make sure you drop them in pretty quick. Don't splash the oil, so get the wing as close to the oil as you can before you let go. So get as many as you can in at the same time. Because A, it will, like this time, will cool that oil down, and B, they'll all cook at about the same time. You won't have a raw one in there with a one that's almost done. All right, I'm going to do about half of them right now. I don't want to overfill the pan either. So usually, guys, this will take about 10-12 minutes. We're going to wait till they get nice and crispy and there's not a lot of juice coming out of them. So we're going to let those cook for a little bit and I'll be back. So the oil temperature dropped down to about 325, 330 because of all the volume of chicken in there. So I did turn the heat up just a little bit to help it get back up to temp. I'm also going to make sure I get my, even though this is plastic, guys, it's a high heat strainer here. I'm going to turn these around, make sure they're not sticking to the bottom of the pot and that they're cooking pretty even. You can see they're already starting to brown up. When the oil starts to slow down the bubbling is when that's when you know that they're almost done. All right, guys, here's the trick on the sauce, and this is the way we used to make them in the restaurant, in the original Buffalo Wing restaurants. You take your sauce, and then you control your heat factor by the amount of butter you put in to mix with it. So the more butter, the less heat. And what we used to do is just would throw the wings in the bowl when they were right out of the fryer and let that heat melt the butter and mix up the sauce at the same time. Yeah, they're smelling good, guys. I can smell them. And like I said, it's really good to be able to cook this stuff outside so it doesn't stink up the house, doesn't heat up the house, doesn't set off any fire alarms. So they're looking pretty good. Still got a little bit ways to go. I'm really waiting for the bubbles to start settling down. That tells me that they're getting cooked all the way through. All right, guys, so it's been about a little over 12 minutes or so, and you can see they're floating to the top. The bubbles have died down. So I'm going to take some of these out. I'm going to put them right in my bowl here. Like I said, the heat from the wings is going to melt that butter. I'm going to take a few of these, put them on the side. My daughter. Okay, I'm going to got those in there. That butter's going to melt for a little bit. And I'm going to put the rest of these in. These are resting for my daughter. Now these I'm just going to do a quick shake here with the sauce. That butter starting to melt here. It's mixing in with that hot sauce. That's about good. Let's go get these on a plate and give them a taste. See how they are. I'll be right back. Well, there you have it, guys. Got the drums and the flappers separated. Got a little blue cheese here. I'm not a big fan of the celery, but I do like dipping my wings in the blue cheese with the hot sauce. It kind of offsets it a little bit, gives it a more creamy flavor. So there you have it. Really easy, guys, especially if you got that outdoor burner. Check it out. Not too overly battered. Nice and thin layer of sauce on there. Go ahead and dip it. Look at that. Cooked all the way through. Super crunchy, super creamy. Nice little bit of heat. Wow. check it out, guys. Make sure you try this at home. Super simple. Like I said, these are cooked original buffalo style, so not overly breaded, just enough to get them nice and crispy. Cook them all the way through. Make your temperature, your oils 350 to 375 or so. Season the flour up a little bit with this, and use some Franks. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Check out the new Fire and Water Cooking and Travel podcast, coming to you on YouTube, Facebook, also on wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next video.